To tickle your imagination.
And you gotta give the American scientists credit. I mean, they're really keeping up for the race, for supremacy with the Russians. I really mean that. The Russians may have had the first satellite into space, but we were the first nation to come out with striped toothpaste. That's for people with striped teeth. And how about that moon rocket? I don't know if you know how it works, but it comes in 3 stages. First stage, second stage, and somebody goofed. They said it couldn't be done. And it couldn't.
This is how it is done.
Sunday rain on my parade washed me away, 'cause we've been running out of time, being like a satellite lost in outer space. We build it up to fall apart and see the end before it starts. Ooh, baby, it's cold in here. I'm chasing you down this trail of tears into your hiding place.
You're probably wondering, why am I outside? It's not really raining and I have an umbrella. Well, there's some rain coming down, but that's not why I have the umbrella. I have the umbrella because earlier today I was told that NASA has a situation up there where some satellite pieces are broken. So a bunch of little pieces are gonna come flying down and one big piece. Now, with my luck, and because I live in the armpit of Mississauga, I'm figuring the big piece is gonna land here. And that's pretty much why I have the umbrella. Okay? I've been losing a lot in Proline, so I'm figuring with my luck, it'll probably land here. So I figure, why not make a will and testament video in case I get hit with the biggest piece of satellite. I would like to leave all my Care Bears to my manager, Marina, because I care. And I'd like to leave my favorite bike to my mom. Although she's the one who bought it, I figure I'll just give it back. Okay? And, anybody saw that car? Satellite should land on that. Listen, I hope, if there's any little pieces landing around here, can you please land on the construction workers so we can have some room on our highways? Is that a fucking satellite?
A imprensa chegando. Como foi pra você achar esse troço aí, seu homem? Seu ladrão de drone? Como? Esse morador. Daquele ali, esse morador caiu na fazenda dele, foi? Na fazenda dele.
We build it up to fall apart and see the end before it starts. Ooh, baby, it's cold in here.
As the giant helium balloon was launched into the air, its precious cargo became a high-speed projectile. Unexpected strong winds pushed the 2-ton platform of scientific instruments off course and onto a path of destruction. Justin Trotter's car was tipped over. He can be seen here running for his life. While Justin Trotter was inspecting the damage, NASA scientists were picking up the pieces of years of work. The balloons are launched into the stratosphere carrying cutting-edge telescopes that help give astronomers and scientists a much clearer view of space. One balloon was successfully launched earlier this month, and NASA is adamant it will have another ready for takeoff shortly.
Never know what's going to happen. This baby fell out of the sky and landed in our yard. It's never boring on the Welke farm. Thank God there's no horses out or it didn't hit the house. And it's still going and flashing.
Inside the massive hangars at Moffett Federal Airfield, Google is attempting to do something that balloon experts deemed impossible: deliver high-speed internet access to the most remote corners of the globe.
This is something that has never been asked of balloons before, to be reliable.
So the first thing we did was took a router, flew it on a weather balloon up to 10 kilometers and see if you could still get a signal. We are just like a cell phone tower, but in the sky. Another way to think about it is, if you drive down the highway on a phone call, you will switch between cell towers. And as one balloon goes overhead, another balloon comes in range, and you're switching between one balloon to another. The balloons today can cover 5,000 square kilometers on the ground. You can get 15 megabits per second to your phone, or if you have a little MiFi device, you can get 40 megabits per second from the balloon.
I remember when we were building balloons, and they would go up and pop and come back down. We do a lot of different tests with balloons built in different ways. They might be a different shape, they might have an extra feature, we might change the dimension of a feature and try and figure out what works and what doesn't.
Our longest lasting balloon was up for 173 days until we brought it down. Now we've gotten to the point where most of the balloons will last over 100 days.
This balloon has a constant volume, and there is helium in it. We have another balloon inside the balloon that we fill with air.
Just That's what happens.
And the balloon is going to go down.
It's easy to steer the balloon.
You go up, use this wind, then go down, use this wind, and go up.
Over the last 6 months, Google has run tests with Vodafone, Telstra, and Telefonica.
It's too expensive to build wires and cell towers and fiber optics out to all these remote rural regions. It's still early stages in our project in terms of figuring out how big it can grow. It's great for bringing internet to 4 billion people on Earth who don't have it.
An inflatable plastic balloon satellite, 100 feet in diameter, tall as a 10-story building, inside a 26.5-inch magnesium container. The latter is mounted in the nose of a 3-stage 92-foot Thor Delta rocket. Highlighting one of the nation's proudest days in space, the satellite will serve as a reflector for radio waves that bounce back to Earth, paving the way for a new kind of worldwide communications. The rocket at Cape Canaveral carries the balloon and 30 pounds of powder, which will turn to gas and inflate it at a height above 1,000 miles. At 5:40 a.m., the launching. Then the tense moments while the rocket goes through the separation of the stages. It is only the second launching for the Thor Delta. It is living up to the expectations of the space experts who say it functions almost perfectly. With extremely precise guidance, it is placing the balloon satellite almost exactly into the desired 1,000-mile-high circular orbit. Minutes after launching, 33 minutes after launching, the balloon is released and inflated by the powder inside, which turns from a solid into gas under the sun's temperature. The big balloon, visible like a bright star, quickly bounces a recorded message by President Eisenhower between stations in California and New Jersey. And here in Washington, the chief executive listens to his own voice as it sounded when bounced from the orbiting satellite.
It is a great personal satisfaction to participate in this first experiment in communications involving the use of the satellite balloon. This is one more significant step in the United States program of space research and exploration.
Between pine-covered hills near Palestine is one of the best-kept secrets in East Texas. The Columbia Scientific Balloon Facility is a renowned balloon launch site involved in world-class scientific research.
The data that we get, the scientists get rather, is used all around the globe.
The National Scientific Balloon Facility was moved to Palestine in 1963. It has recently been renamed the Columbia Scientific Balloon Facility in honor of the Columbia crew and is under the sponsorship of NASA.
When I first came to work here, it was we were launching a lot of small balloons, 11 million cubic foot balloons and 4 million cubic foot balloons. But as time progressed, we got to launching the bigger, heavier balloons that lift 8,000 pounds.
For balloon launches throughout the world, including Antarctica. A number of the facility's balloons are launched each year from that icy land with its 15 plus to 20 below temperatures. The balloons, made of material as thin as trash bags but bigger than football fields, are inflated with helium and launched on journeys to the edge of space. The data gathering and scientific experiments they carry out can be accomplished at a fraction of the cost of rockets.
A lot of people think that what we do has to do with forecasting the weather.
Weather forecasting, it's not, although weather monitoring for launches is part of the job. But what about sorting out the Big Bang Theory, detecting cosmic rays, measuring ozone layers, and hundreds of other scientific experiments that most of us don't understand? But what is accomplished by the Columbia Scientific Balloon Facility may well affect our lives and those of our children as long as this planet spins.
To tickle your imagination.
I'm a fighter.